Alright, hello and welcome to my very first Master Duel video. Today I want to showcase an FTK deck that I came up with together with a couple of streams from friends from stream, not stream for friends. And yeah, this FTK basically uses ignites bare bones, like there's not a lot of breaks, you only really need ignites, so this makes the deck really cheap for Master Duel, and it's really easy to grind with. Like, if you go first and your opponent has no hand trap, you have a very high chance of pulling off your FTK. So it is consistent and has like, it's very easy to play too. Like, you can't mess it up that easily. There's not a big luck factor other than, of course, having a good hand. You don't want to draw too many of your breaks that can't start your plays. But other than that, there's a lot of lines you can do. There's also alternative combos you can make. You can probably also, if you're going second, you can probably just play access code turbo. So the basic line of play is you want level 4 ignite, or basically any way to get to level 5 synchro, and you want a level 6 ignite, or any way to get to a level 9 synchro. And then we want the third ignite, which we can just search with Painful and Durandal. The scale and level of that ignite doesn't matter. Alright, let's start off. You always start with your searches, which will bait the hand trap sometimes. Which is good for us because it was probably the worst time for him to use a Nash. Anyways, we didn't need that. We have a Durandal, we're safe. And even if we didn't have the Durandal, we had one of the Vengeful Servants in hand. This is the key card for this FTK. I will explain how it works and what it does later. But important is, it's the key card. So yeah, use both of your scales to scale them up. Add Sublimation Knight, normal summon Sublimation Knight, equip Squeak Knight from deck, which allows it to special summon itself, but first we will use Durandal to get another Ignite to our hand. As I said, it's important for the combo. You will use Squeak Knight, unequipped to special, make Isolt, make the mummies, and then you add, now which is important is, you add with Isolt your opposite scale. So you have a scale 2, you want to add a scale 7. And then with those two scales, you will scale them up, you will Pendulum Summon. Make sure that the opposite scale you search is not in your extra deck. It's not any of the cards you're trying to summon, else this will not work. After this, you're going to use Isolt, sending any card, plus Vengeful Servant, plus Mark of the Rose. These two are necessary to send, the third one is not necessary. Now, we will always summon Arborea. The reason you play Arborea is because if you hard draw it, you can still do the combo. It's just a bit different. Now, we will use Arborea and our Isolt for Hulk. Hulk will get us the best card, Biolon Cube. Now we will use both of the Ignites to get a Renault. Now with Renault, you're going to special summon itself, use the effect to add back your Mark of the Rose. I will explain what it does when it comes in. Now we'll use the Renault and the Templar. For another synchro, we will go to Garden Rose Maiden, the very key card of pretty much most of the FTKs. We're going to add Black Garden with a level 3 Cube and a level 6 Gallant. We're going to go into Alpha, a Violent Alpha. Now what happens here, Alpha has an effect that it can equip an equipped spell card from the graveyard to itself. So we can now target Vengeful Servant, equip it to itself. And then with the Cube, we will search an equip spell. So with Cube, we search another Vengeful Servant. We will activate all 3 Vengeful Servants to Violent Alpha. Activate Black Garden. Use Garden Rose Maiden and Hulk for a Geonator Transverser. Use mandatory effect Black Garden to put the Rose token exactly there. Now this is important. You have to watch out for the placement in this FTK. I don't have problems with the placement most of the time. Sometimes I just mess up clicking buttons mostly. But yeah, this is important. You have to have transversor point to a token and to your Violent Alpha that's equipped with at least 2. You need at least 2 Vengeful Servants equipped to it. But you can have 3. But you can't have 1. 1 doesn't work. Alright, so what does Vengeful Servant do now? What's happening? Vengeful Servant reads, when control of the equipped monster changes, inflict damage equal to its original attack to its new controller. So, when we use Transverser here, That means 3 times the opponent will take damage equal to Violent Alpha's original attack, which is 22. So they will now take 6,600 damage. We can do that a bit faster. Now what we'll do is, we have Mark of the Rose. Mark of the Rose reads, activate this card by banishing one plant, then target the face-up monster your opponent controls. We have plants because Garden Rose Maiden is a plant. Now we can take control of that monster. So we steal the Violent Alpha back. Alright, what does that do? Well, we now take damage. But the good thing about Mark of the Rose is, it has a downside, which is usually a downside which makes the card a bit bad, but in this case it's a good downside. Because during the end phase, it will negate its own effect. So Mark of the Rose effect basically steals a monster, and if it negates itself, it will return Violent Alpha to your opponent's side of the field, which will then trigger your Vengeful Servants again. Basically, your opponent will be dead. This works only with 2 Vengeful Servants, because 2 Vengeful Servants with Alpha is like 4,400 damage in one giving, and you give 2 times, so that's like already 8,400. So yeah, that's basically how the deck works. That's basically how the combo works. I will go through a deck real quick, but there's not much to say here. So basically, you play 3 of each level 4 Ignite, 3 of each level 6 Ignite. That's it. You play extra names for more Ignite ratios. Play Painful Decisions to be able to search your Ignites, and then also, of course, to search your level 3 Ignite, we need 2 of 1, so that's why I played 2 of 1 of the level 3 Ignites, so you can search it with Painful. Other than that, Squeak Knight, Renault is clear, Cube is clear, Auguria is clear, so Lamation Knight makes sense. You could possibly play 3, but I think you search it anyway, so you don't want to play too much. Now, Firefly Lady is the most interesting one. You can search Firefly Lady at any part in your combo, and then use its effects by Summon itself to try to boost your level 5 or your level 3 Ignites by 1 level, so you technically can do the same combo and pretend as if they were the level 4 or the level 6 Ignite. So if you don't have like the right levels, if you can't go into the right synchro monsters, your Firefly Lady will save you sometimes. That's the same reason why we play Living Fossil. That will also save you sometimes. Other than that, we just play a lot of searchers, like 3 Durandal, of course, 3 Summers are 3 Painful Decisions necessary. We play 3 Vengeful Servants because sometimes, if you have it in your starting hand, you can use it, do the combo a bit different. Maybe you don't end up searching an equipped spell, like the second one, maybe you don't end up summoning Alpha. Sometimes you might just summon Epsilon, so you can't equip from Grave, so maybe it's just good to have one in hand. It's really like necessary to sometimes have it in hand. And that's pretty much it for the main deck. The extra deck is just filled with synchro monsters and link monsters that you can occasionally summon. The most important ones that you need are Garden Rose Maiden, Alpha, Hulk, Isolt, and you could possibly argue that you also need Epsilon. Of course, Transverser. Also, Link Spider might be important sometimes, because you need to use a normal monster sometimes to go into an effect monster for Transverser. Because there are some scenarios where you pendulum summon like 5 instead of just 2. And then those monsters just hang around and you want to get them, like, turn them into a Link Spider and then into a Transverser. The Electromite just because we're playing Pens, and why not? So yeah, I'm not going to go through all the cards. Horus is just really cool, we should read it. I'm not going to read it for you right now. It's really good with the Ignites. That's pretty much it. Thank you everyone for watching, and peace out.